Crowns filled with precious jewels have been the ultimate symbol of the sovereign's power for hundreds of years. Many were passed down through generations and across dynasties as potent symbols of endurance and continuity. For this reason, they have often been included in royal portraits. Here we take a look at 4 important crowns featured in the Tudors to Windsors exhibition, currently on display at Royal Museums Greenwich.
The crown on the table next to Charles I in this portrait by Daniel Meitens is known as the State Crown of Henry VIII. Made of gold and incorruptible metal, it consists of 344 precious stones, including diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and the most valued at the time, rubies, which were symbols of wisdom. At the execution of Charles I in 1649, Oliver Cromwell declared the crown a symbol of the detestable rule of kings and ordered that it should be totally destroyed. It was broken up and the metal was melted for coinage and the jewels were sold. In this portrait, the crown sits alongside the orb and sceptre, other elements of the royal regalia, demonstrating Charles's authority as monarch and belying his eventual fate.
In both of these photographs, Queen Victoria wears a small diamond crown made for her by crown jewellers R.S. Goward & Co. in March 1870. This tiny crown was designed to be worn by the Queen on top of her widow's cap following the death of her husband, Prince Albert. At just 9 centimetres in diameter and 160 grams in weight, the crown contains over 1,100 diamonds that were recycled from a necklace that Victoria had owned. The crown was passed on to her daughter-in-law, Queen Alexandra, and then on to Queen Mary, but because of its close association with Queen Victoria, it seems to have rarely been worn. It remains an important part of the British crown jewels and can still be seen at the Tower of London. In this photograph, Her Majesty the Queen wears the Imperial State Crown, one of the most impressive pieces in the British crown jewels. The crown is made of silver, gold and platinum and contains over 3,000 gemstones, including a large sapphire that was worn in a ring by Edward the Confessor, the Black Prince's ruby, a red spinet that was apparently worn by Henry V at the Battle of Agincourt. Probably the most spectacular jewel in the crown is Cullinan II, cut from the largest diamond that was ever found. It was discovered in South Africa in 1905 and was given 2 years later to Edward VII as a birthday gift, at a time when South Africa was under British colonial rule.
The iconic crown or diadem worn by the Queen in this portrait was commissioned by one of our most extravagant monarchs, King George IV. Commissioned from Rundle, Bridge and Rundle, it contained 1,333 diamonds and 169 pearls. It cost £8,000, nearly £800,000 in today's money, with an additional cost of £800 to rent the diamonds, which was traditional until the reign of Queen Victoria. However, there's no record of the diamonds ever being returned, and it appears they remain in the crown to this day. The Queen wore the crown on the procession to Westminster Abbey for her coronation and also regularly wears it for the state opening of Parliament. However, it is perhaps most familiar to us all as the crown that the Queen wears on the postage stamp.